Welcome to The Switch, podcasts that are wired to online and offline marketing.
Alrighty, we are back on The Switch in deep discussion. I mean, it never stops. Even in our break, we were talking about bloody AI, and it's going to be a topic of conversation, I think, for a long time to come. But after this show, we've got to get back to doing our day jobs, or do we? We will see. Yeah, for how long? Yeah, but it's definitely impacted my life, not from a professional sense, but from a leisure type sense. Certainly with Midjourney and creating images for various things. I actually tried to recreate one of my dreams.
Okay, where's this going?
Where I was sitting on top of a wave, and it's like a 30-foot wave. Yeah. And I tried to recreate that looking down on the wave, and it didn't do it, unfortunately. But from a professional point of view, and we'll get to this a little bit later, but I want to hear from you guys. How has it impacted your respective day-to-day? Wayne?
Not immensely, but I mean, I'm definitely using AI to augment some of the services and to help me or to streamline some of the things that I do. Sometimes we don't get a great brief from a client, and I need to supply my writer with more information, so I just throw it into ChatGPT and get it to spit out, the information needed to give to the writer, so that the brief is more on point. And so that process is made more efficient because of it.
Emails?
No, I'm not using it.
No?
Emails, no, and I never will.
Okay.
But
because it might sound more intelligent than your normal email?
Yeah, I'm scared I'll be found out.
Yeah. Who is this new Wayne? He's got a PA.
What have you been doing? You sound way more intelligent. No, but definitely through in Photoshop and photo manipulation for jobs, for brochures. We've got. We talked about Firefly, but it's just it's got immediate commercial use that just makes things easier and more efficient. So I'm not interested in replacing anyone's job, but definitely I've used it for helping me with naming services where we just can't find a name for a business because everything's taken, and we're just throwing in different options. And
really, that's really interesting.
Spit a whole heap out in Latin or in a different language, and let's just see what it comes up with. And we've been able to use it and play with it and come up with names that are unique, that will work for the client as well, and we can register, we can trademark, so there's definite ways.
That's very cool. I haven't thought of that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting. John?
So in the coding space, GitHub Copilot has been around for a number of years now, maybe 2 years now, and that's been integrated into development environments. So we've been using AI quite a lot.
So what is Copilot? Just talk us through that.
So Copilot is like it's like an autocomplete for code, but on steroids. And so you start typing out stuff, and it will suggest a whole block of code or whatever. And so you might say, I want to calculate the area of a circle, and as a comment, and it will just generate a function to be able to do that. And then you can either accept it or just keep going.
Because in development environments, you used to get these templates, like for next loop.
Yeah,
but it's that.
It's kind of like that, but much more higher level.
Wow.
And so been using that for a fair while, and then with some good and bad experiences with that, and then we've also been using the ChatGPT to sort of generate a bit of code, but also more like ask questions, find out how to use certain libraries, find it like more efficient and better than trying to Google stuff, and also sometimes better than the actual documentation that you'll get because it will give you like an example of the code being used.
Yeah,
and then you can say, I don't want it to look quite like that. I want it like this because you can have a conversation with it. So you can go, I'm trying to do this. How do I do this with sort of Ruby on Rails, for example? And it will come out and go, okay, that's not quite. I realize now that's not quite what I want to do. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And it will go, oh, well, then you can do it like this. And so you can sort of problem solve with it and go back and forth. And it makes it a bit easier than open up a lot of Google tabs to try and find what you're doing.
Yeah.
And
straight to the point, so to
Yeah.
speak. Yeah.
But then you're also creating useful apps using AI for businesses.
yeah, well,
So you're going to affect their day to day.
Yeah, we're working on an app to so you can create your own bots and give them a knowledge base so they can become subject matter experts in that knowledge base, and then through your team have
That's
them
cool.
shared, but share this bot with these members of our team and this bot with these other members. So then instead of them, when they've got a question about something's going on, they can ask the bot
Rather than a human.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And plan to integrate it sort of into Slack and stuff like that, so you can
Yeah.
just talk to the bot and have permission. So we've been playing around with it where like some of our staff will be, I've got to, I need you to work on this project for a while. Have a talk to the bot to get the understanding of what it is. How their software works and what their things. Can we put all the documentation in that we've taken, all the meeting notes we've ever had with this client, all go into there, and then they can just ask all these questions in there and get up to speed.
Wow. That is a useful, positive application.
Hey, I love that.
That's really cool. That's amazing. What's it called?
I haven't got a name for it
Oh, hey.
Just throw it in a chat.
Should we do that here? Let's do it here. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's fascinating. And I look forward to hearing more about that. That's awesome.
Hopefully we'll start putting some stuff out soon.
Yeah, you may need a website for that, I think.
Yes.
Marc, what about you?
Something that I've played with recently while I was at the airport, actually, flying over to the Sydney SEO conference.
As you do.
As I do rarely, but I just fired up ChatGPT and developed my own Chrome extension, where I don't have a strong developer background. I know a little bit of code, but way not enough to, like John said, read all of the documentation, get into all the nitty gritty. And within 30 to 40 minutes, I built my own Chrome extension, even using external systems, API calls, and it worked. So that was super impressive to be able to give me that knowledge in 30 to 40 minutes, where I would have previously never even wanted to dive into that, because we all know once you try something difficult outside of your comfort zone, you might be wasting 3 to 4, 5 hours and you get nowhere. But with that, in a really short amount of time, I was able to put something working on the canvas before I boarded the plane. So that's something that I'm creating a course around right now, how to use ChatGPT for SEO, including building your own Chrome extension, because I'm so confident that anybody who can use ChatGPT can also now write this basic programming code to make their browser do whatever you want it to do.
How did that work with Chrome? I mean, is anything stopping for you to just throwing something onto it? Or
absolutely not. No. So you have a button on Chrome right there that says extension, and then you click enable developer mode, and then you click upload. And that's where you put the code that ChatGPT gave you. In many cases, you won't need to modify it even.
Did ChatGPT tell you how to do that?
Yeah.
How to upload it?
Yeah. So it did, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got all these ideas now. I'm just thinking.
I know. The ideas are just incredible, isn't it? You could create whole businesses. Well, you are sort of creating a mini business, creating your own course, and you're obviously it is going to be a new business.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh,
What about you, Steve?
See, when it comes to web design and UX, I do believe that it's going to be really hard to. One of the things that I find hard to believe that things like ChatGPT and Midjourney are going to be able to replicate our emotions, and emotions can be triggered. Oh, and a sense of humor. Sense of humor is going to be so hard because everyone's got a different type of humor. Think some things that trigger me to laugh is completely different to what triggers other people. I'm highly suggestive to sarcasm, and if AI can get to a point where it can make me laugh and make me feel emotion, I think it would be getting somewhere. But I find it very hard to believe that we're there yet. When it comes to user experience, it's all about goals, it's all about emotion, what gives a great first impression. Your first impression of a website could be very different because you're in a completely different demographic. So for me, I'm sort of sitting on the fence at the moment. I'm using it creatively, just to dabble, but I'm not embedding anything into my business process just yet. Which is a nice little segue to having a look at a couple of websites that were created.
Okay, then you seem to get off pretty lightly there.
Yeah. So there are. It is. People are jumping on the bandwagon though. People are like Wix and Squarespace and all those platforms that people are jumping on, saying, "Hey, we don't need web developers. We don't need to pay web developers to anything. We've got an AI now."
Yeah, we are not there yet.
We'll let you guys be the judge of that. So we have got a couple of websites that have been created by. Okay, so we got this website here.
Okay, it looks like pretty much every standard templated.
Very standard templated website. So Rise Project, I've got no idea who they are. It's quite hard to find AI generated websites because people don't obviously want to advertise it. But when they give testimonials to website generating platforms, that's where I got these websites from. Okay. So Rise Projects, they said, "Oh, it's brilliant. I created my whole website on it." And man, it's missing a lot. Like the branding is. What do you think of the branding?
Well, I can hardly see it.
Hardly see that. Yeah.
And it's I still don't even know what they do. I can't even hardly read the headline. So yeah.
Yep. No call to action. No tagline. The color palette is pretty insubstantial. So a lot of things that already from pretty much the most important part of the website is missing. There's no engagement, absolutely no engagement, no emotion. I got no idea there's no context to this image. There's no hero items. so many things are wrong.
It just definitely needs some movement, and there's real estate there that could explain exactly what it's all about, but they don't seem to be using it.
That's right.
Just yet.
Scrolling down.
Does it work on mobile?
I have no idea. I can try, but I don't think it's even worth the effort, really. So yeah, it's just straight down the page. You'd think you'd get 50-50. You'd swap the image over just to add some sort of differentiators between panels, but there's no background, there's no panels, so it's missing so much. And there's the end of the website. I mean, that's the end of the homepage. It's not the end of the website, but. Yeah, pretty average, I would say. I mean, this one is another one. Where is it? Come on, it's loading. Here we go. A good plan today. So this is a little bit innovative.
Yeah, this is a lot better.
A lot better?
It is a lot better.
Digital innovation that drives you forward. So this was also created. This is a UK company. Well, it started off in Italy. And when I went to the Italian side, it diverted to the UK side. So some good stats there.
Yes.
Three different calls to action. You got a purple one there. You got a red one there. You got a grey one. Oh, well, I suppose it's a purple
animation.
Got animation.
Movement, yep.
A little bit more interesting. Not sure if it's relevant. Got some nice typography. Got some great stock photography there. What our customers ask us. We rarely respond to a challenge with a no. So we've got lots of quotes there.
That's a bit boring, the quotes.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
So, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's a parallax site where, you got some stuff on it. You can't really click on too much.
I wonder how much of that was really AI generated versus human work still going into it, because some of these sections are very specific to what they do with these brand logos. Did you have to upload each logo itself, or did it go out to the internet to find?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering how much, like, what the tool is like to build this, and how much it's driven by the person
The
making
developers
it,
behind it. Yeah.
and what their vision is, and what their ability to know what is you can do or what you should do.
That's true. But I suppose the fundamental issue for me with AI generated websites is you still got the Wix Squarespace problem, where business owners
Yes. Yeah.
they think I don't need to spend any revenue on marketing, branding. I can do my own logo.
Yep.
I can do my own website.
Yep.
How hard can it be? But I tell you what, it doesn't get over that. Business owners creating their own websites is a disaster zone. They think they can do it in Wix, think they can do it in Squarespace, but they miss so many things. And I talk to people every single day where they have created their own, and they just miss such fundamental user experience issues that will kill businesses. They absolutely kill businesses. So I do not believe it will. Maybe we won't need web design. That's probably more likely scenario, is that we won't need websites in the future at all, rather than people jumping on thinking that they can create their own and then create a business out of it.
I don't think AI, particularly now, is going to get rid of expertise in things. It might make it so those experts can build stuff quicker, or people can try and build stuff, but like that knowledge of like what you need in a website to make it actually convert and actually work and engage with the specific audience, because it's not even just about like, it's got to engage. It's got to engage with the people you want to engage with.
That's right.
If you're engaging for the wrong people, then it's a waste of time. And it's the same with like software. We might be able to generate code and make you a Chrome plugin, but how do you make sure that like, we want to make changes to that? Can we actually make changes? Is it sustainable to make as a system that's going to grow and expand out? And we might be able to use AI to make that building quicker, but we still need the expertise to actually do it right, so it actually achieves the goals.
So what you're really saying is there's going to be a big differentiator between the people who are stuck in their ways and carry on doing things the way they've always done them, and those who actually embrace the movements in technologies like AI, who will retain a certain amount of autonomy because they know how to use these tools.
Yeah, they can take their expertise and use their tools to make it even better.
Yeah.
And embracing doesn't necessarily mean they just throw everything out and that becomes their model, their operating model. It means that, they're integrating it into their systems and their processes to augment what they're doing. They're still relying on their knowledge, experience and whatever, but they're using it in a positive way to help within that environment. I think that's where I see it working in my business, is that there's some things that'll be more efficient for me to do certain ways, and it solves problems. It's solving problems that I have.
Yeah.
Typically would have just fudged around with and spent more time on and wasted time on.
Boring stuff that you really don't want to do.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's cool.
The one thing that I see a lot of business owners do that I talk to is that they try to generate their own blog articles using AI. And that has quite a lot of risks associated with it. On the one hand, Google is very good at detecting that AI content.
Yeah.
The other problem is the human aspect of it. I've even had psychiatrists come to me and say, yep, I'm generating my blog articles with AI. And my question to them is, you are the expert on that topic, and people are trusting you with your expertise, and they come for your knowledge, not for the AI.
Yeah.
And in these areas, it's very important, in particular, that we put the effort into writing good blog articles and also creating other elements such as images that actually explain the whole process that the blog article might go through, which leads into the human expertise that Google is now looking for, because Google knows they cannot trust text anymore, because anybody can have a 3,000 word blog post on any topic, even SEO optimized, but there's still fine elements and trust signals inside of the text itself, such as citing credible research papers, names of researchers, and so on, that need to go into articles to actually make other humans now trusted. So we need to all work together to achieve this new level of trust. If we can't trust somebody's voice anymore because it could be AI generated, we can't trust text anymore because a psychiatrist might have put it on there. It was AI generated. And we need new elements to be able to gain that trust.
Well, that almost is an argument for raising the profile of writers, like real human writers, isn't it? Which is very, very interesting. Wow. We've got to watch this space, haven't we?
Yeah, I think what you're saying there and the generated stuff is, and making it real is important, because all this AI generated stuff is an existential like risk to Google itself.
Yeah,
they're not going to just let everybody just generate like all their SEO and all their stuff from AI, because it's going to make it so their search is garbage, and everybody's going to move to ChatGPT to get stuff. So
yeah.
So it's going to be.
So are we talking about then regulation is going to be self-serving to the people that are introducing it, because they're protecting what it is they say?
It needs to be self-serving in a way. So I'm doing a lot of consulting with website owners who have had their website traffic crash. And what I see is the main number one issue is that first the graph goes up, more and more visitors come because Google sees activity, they're publishing lots of content but at low quality. And then there's the crash happening. And it is self-serving in the way, because if you're just putting out bad content, no matter whether it's video content, text content, any form, you do have firstly a search, but then the crash is inevitable. And that's one thing that we all need to be on the lookout for, that we're not engaging in this kind of churn and burn behavior, because we're also spamming other humans. We're trying to engage in a gainful activity for ourselves, but we're also spamming other people.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's good. Next part of the show, we're going to be touching on a couple of interesting topics. So stay tuned, and thanks, guys. That was very, very interesting.
Thanks.